If I handed you $1,000 today and told you the next 10 minutes could be the pivot point between I tried and I did it, what would you do? Not hypothetically, right now. Because most people won't decide. They'll drift. They'll tap away to another video, they'll wait for the perfect moment, and the perfect moment will pass. I want you to treat this $1,000 like a test of clarity, of courage, of whether you can choose the long game over the loud game. Stay with me to the last line, because I'm going to give you a simple upgrade that turns a small plan into a compounding engine. And once you see it, you won't unsee it. Let's rewrite the way beginners think about money with one rule. Make your first 1,000 do 3 jobs at once: grow, protect, and unlock. If your money only grows, you'll get crushed the first time life throws a bill at you. If it only protects, you'll watch opportunities fly by. If it only unlocks, you'll fall in love with ideas and starve for outcomes. The skill is to assign every dollar a role that fits a bigger arc. From your first 1,000 to your first 10,000. From your first 10,000 to the first asset that pays you while you sleep. Here's the mindset shift. You are not buying stocks, funds, or crypto. You are buying time. Dollars don't just sit, they carry your hours, your energy, your future options. When you scatter them, your future scatters. When you focus them, your future sharpens. So I build the plan around one promise. Every dollar either compounds your capital, defends your capital, or expands your capacity. If it doesn't do one of those 3, it's not an investment, it's drift disguised as activity. Start with the anchor, the piece that quietly gets heavier every year. I'd allocate the biggest slice to a broad market index that owns hundreds of world-class businesses in one move. Think of it like buying the economy's engine instead of guessing which spark plug will fire. You want relentless, boring growth, the kind that looks unimpressive today and irresistible when you look back. And here's the trick most people miss. Automate the addition. 1,000 is the opening note. The melody is the habit. When your money moves into that fund on a schedule, your discipline stops arguing with your emotions. Markets dip, headlines scream, and your contributions keep landing. That gap between reactions and routines is where wealth quietly appears. Next, protect the engine. I'd carve out a clear, no-excuses cash slice. Liquid, easy, boring. The point isn't yield, the point is optionality. When life throws a tire spike, your cash absorbs it so your growth can keep advancing. Think of this as your personal do-not-touch reserve. It's not there to look smart, it's there to make sure you don't have to do something dumb when you're under pressure. If you ever sold at the bottom because your car broke down or a bill surprised you, you already know why this matters. Now, unlock. This is the money that changes your slope, the part that upgrades your earning power. I'd put a meaningful slice into a skill that manufactures income, a course that teaches you a marketable craft, a book stack that turns confusion into fluency, or a small starter kit for a side project with clear deliverables. Here's the discipline. Don't just buy education, schedule output. If you spend $200 on skill, you must schedule 10 hours of practice and ship a first result within 2 weeks. No certificates on your wall, results in your world. This is the chapter where your 1,000 stops being a lump sum and becomes a lever. A skill that produces even an extra $200 a month changes the entire math of your timeline. If your income rises, your contributions rise. If your contributions rise, your compounding accelerates. That's how beginners stop being beginners. I also want asymmetry, exposure to the future's frontier without pretending to predict it. I'd allocate a small, clearly defined slice to a thematic bet you understand. A technology ETF, a clean energy basket, or a tiny position in a blue-chip crypto. This is not about adrenaline, it's about optionality with a seatbelt. Make the position small enough that you can hold through storms and large enough that it matters if the thesis proves right. Write one sentence for yourself. why you own it, what would make you add, what would make you exit. If you can't write that sentence, you don't own a thesis, you own a hope. But none of this works if your psychology collapses. Beginners don't fail because they pick the wrong fund, they fail because they forget the calendar. Markets are waves. Your feelings are weather. Your plan is the boat. If you keep changing the boat to match the weather, you'll never reach shore. So install a simple practice. Only evaluate performance on a schedule you choose in advance. I like a monthly check for contributions and a quarterly check for allocation. No mid-storm tinkering. You don't uproot a tree because the wind hit it. You strengthen the roots and wait for spring. Let me give you a story that locks this in. Two friends each invest $1,000. One plants it in a broad index and automates 50 a week. The other chases the loudest idea every month. Year 1, the chaser has better screenshots. Year 5, the planter has better wealth. The screenshots were moments, the wealth was a system. Beginners chase moments because moments feel alive. Builders install systems because systems outlive moods. Now, numbers are not the hero. Habits are. So I point the entire plan at one rule: turn returns into cash flow. Here's how. Every quarter, add a micro habit that raises your weekly contribution by a small, non-painful amount. 5 more this quarter, another 5 next quarter. It's the stair-step method. If you've ever tried to jump a staircase, you know it's dumb. If you take it one step at a time, you're at the top before you realize you were climbing. You want a plan that survives your worst day, not a plan that only works on your best day. What about timing? Beginners whisper, "Should I wait for the dip?" Waiting feels intelligent. Starting is intelligent. The most underrated edge you have is early, consistent exposure. If you're inside the market, volatility is tuition paid for future gains. If you're outside, volatility is another excuse. Start now, automate, and let your curiosity drive better decisions, not your fear drive new delays. Here's a powerful micro upgrade. Name each dollar. The largest slice is called Grow. The second slice is called Protect. The third slice is called Unlock. The smallest slice is called Frontier. When a dollar leaves your wallet, it must enter one of those names. No misc, no blur. Blur is where budgets die. Names is where discipline lives. This turns vague intentions into visible pipelines. You'll start noticing something unexpected. Your attention organizes itself around the plan, and your plan stops depending on motivation. Motivation is a spark, structure is the fireplace.
I also want you to install a decision audit. Not complex. 2 questions when you touch your money. Does this increase compounding? And does this increase capacity? If the answer is no twice, you've found drift. Drift is sneaky. It shows up dressed as "I deserve it" or "everyone's doing it." If you defeat drift in the first 1,000, you will defeat it at 10,000. And by then, the difference is dramatic. Let's talk friction. Making good decisions easy is more important than making perfect decisions hard. If your contributions require 3 clicks and a password, remove the clicks. If your learning time keeps getting interrupted, put it on your calendar with a real title and real start time, not maybe. If your Frontier slice makes you check prices 10 times a day, shrink it until your heartbeat slows. You don't win by being the bravest, you win by being the most consistent. There's one more lever. Use your environment. Put your goals where your eyes go. A sticky note on your desk with 3 words: grow, protect, unlock. That's your North Star. When you catch yourself scrolling a hype thread, look at the note and ask, which bucket does this feed? If the answer is none, you've just saved yourself from clever chaos. Protecting your attention is the upstream investment that powers every downstream return. Now let's give your plan a rhythm. Day 1, fund the buckets. Day 2, automate the additions. Day 3, schedule your unlock block. 2 hours, same time, each week with a clear deliverable. Day 7, write the one-sentence thesis for your frontier slice. Day 30, run the audit. Did your dollars stick to their names? Did your habit stair-step? If yes, you're winning, even if prices are red. If no, simplify. Complexity is the enemy of beginners and the addiction of dabblers. A simple plan repeated beats a brilliant plan abandoned. I want to challenge you to embrace boredom as the feature, not the bug. Real compounding is visually dull and emotionally profound. It looks like numbers crawling and options multiplying. You'll wake up one day and realize the pressure is lower, the runway is longer, and the opportunities you used to chase now chase you. That transition doesn't announce itself, it accumulates. If you can love the process more than the screenshot, you've crossed the line from consumer to builder. So this is exactly how I'd invest $1,000 today. Assign names, set roles, automate growth, defend the plan, upgrade capacity, and add a small, thoughtful frontier. But here's the final upgrade, the one that makes the whole system bend in your favor. Every time your income rises, do not inflate your lifestyle first. Inflate your contributions by a fixed percentage. If your pay bumps by 100, you raise your weekly contribution by 20. Lock it in as a rule. This is how people with average starts build above average outcomes. Your future self doesn't need more impulse purchases. Your future self needs a bigger snowball rolling down the hill. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need secret picks. You need a plan that you will actually do on your worst day with your tired brain. That's what wins. If you've been waiting for a signal, this is it. Name your dollars, fund the buckets, automate the habit, ship the skill, and let time do what time does for people who choose. The next 10 minutes can be the pivot. The next 10 months can be the proof. And 10 years from now, you'll be glad you planted the tree when it still looked small.